digest mommy's healthy, natural breast milk.
Yummy.
Her whole face just got swollen like this overnight.
Mm-hmm. No fever. Glands normal. Missing her vaccination dates.
We're not vaccinating.
Good. Think they don't work?
I think some multinational pharmaceutical company wants me to think they work. Pad their bottom line.
May I? Ribbit. 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 All natural, no dyes is a good business. All natural children's toys. Toy companies, they don't arbitrarily mark up their frogs. They don't lie about how much they spend on research and development. The worst a toy company could be accused of is making a really boring frog. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. You know another really good business? Teeny tiny baby coffins. You can get them in frog green, fire engine red. Really. The antibodies in Yummy Mummy only protect the kid for 6 months, which is why these companies think they can gouge you. They think that you'll spend whatever they ask to keep your kid alive. Want to change things? Prove them wrong. A few hundred parents like you decide they'd rather let their kid die than cough up $40 for a vaccination. Believe me, prices will drop really fast. Ribbit, 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 ribbit.
Tell me what she has.
A cold.
All right. Over the past half a century, there's been a lot of debate on whether parents should vaccinate their babies. A lot of the claims against vaccinations include questions about their efficacy and safety. By explaining what vaccines are, how they work, and how they impact society, I hope to convince everyone that they should vaccinate their children. And this applies to ethics because vaccinating is a decision that affects the short and long-term health of children and could possibly determine whether they live or die. And I'm well versed in this topic because I'm a biology major and I've taken a multitude of courses covering topics such as immunization, history of medicine, biochemistry, physiology, cellular and molecular biology, and a number of pharmacy courses. I'll start by explaining the origins of vaccines, how they work, before and after vaccines, possible side effects, and reasons why there's so much conflicting evidence out there that may confuse uninformed parents. According to Dr. Jolie Shackelford, history of medicine professor at the University of Minnesota, our understanding of vaccines started around 500 BC in ancient Greece. Thousands suffered from smallpox and many died from the disease, but physicians noticed that people who recovered from smallpox never got the disease again. They discovered what would be the premise of most vaccines today, that exposure to disease gives immunity. And on the right here is Edward Jenner. He's known as the father of immunology. He's credited for the development of the very first vaccine, and here's what it might have looked like him giving it. So how does exposure to vaccines or exposure to disease give immunity? According to Dr. Christian Moore, microbiology professor at the University of Minnesota, vaccines consist of killed virus particles, usually just proteins found on a specific virus. This tricks your body's own immune system into thinking it's become infected, and the body responds by making antibodies. When a real virus tries to infect you, the antibodies help signal your immune system to kill the virus before it can spread and make you sick. The side effects are rare, but are usually mild. However, some can be more severe. According to the Immunization Action Coalition, the pertussis vaccine, also known as whooping cough, can cause uncontrollable crying lasting up to 3 hours. And this happens in every 1 in 10,000 vaccinations. So why not just avoid any risk and just not give the vaccine? Because without vaccinating, infection can spread and cause a lot of children to die from diseases such as pneumonia, influenza, pertussis, and polio. Polio is a disease causing death and paralysis. According to the Immunization Action Coalition, from 1951 to 1954, it infected up to 64,000 people. Its most famous victim is President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Today, there has been 0 natural cases in the United States since 1979, and only 1 case in the entire Western Hemisphere, in Peru in 1991. Think of a vaccine as a seatbelt. Certainly there's a small risk that during an accident, a seatbelt could cause a minor injury. That's a side effect from wearing one. Measure that against the far worse consequences of not wearing a seatbelt. It's not a risk that any parent should be willing to take. Another process that ensures the safety of vaccines is the FDA approval process, which consists of several phases. Phase 1 ensures the safe and effectiveness in animals. Phase 2 ensures the safe and effectiveness in volunteers. And Phase 3 ensures the safe and effectiveness in thousands of patients, and only then is it released into the public. In addition, vaccines are continually monitored for safety through the VAERS program. The VAERS stands for Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, and it's a program managed by the CDC and the FDA to help make safe vaccines even safer. However, due to the increasing awareness that vaccines cause autism in babies, parents have questioned whether they should vaccinate or not. It is only human nature that parents will want to do what is best for their children. And on the debate of vaccines, there's still a lot of conflicting information out there. One reason for this conflicting information is due to the fact that the very first symptoms of autism occur around 12 months. This is during the same time period where babies are scheduled to receive their MMR vaccination, measles, mumps, and rubella. A number of unsupported theories suggest a possible link between the vaccine and autism. The outspokenness of highly educated intellectuals such as American actress and winner of the 1994 Playboy Playmate of the Year, Jenny McCarthy, hasn't helped these worried parents make an informed decision for their babies. The truth is that the link is nothing more than mere coincidence. According to the CDC, there is no link between autism and vaccines. And not vaccinating is a public health issue. If you fail to vaccinate, you're not only risking your child's life, you're risking the life of every person and child that your child interacts with, because your child is more susceptible to infection. If your child does become sick and attends daycare or school, disease can spread to other children, making them sick, causing a chain reaction. How could one justify being responsible for the deaths of several children all because you decided not to vaccinate? In conclusion, the science behind vaccines has been strongly established over the past half a century, and vaccines are optimally safe and as effective as possible. Religion, skepticism, and fear of not wanting to see your baby cry for a shot are all non-viable reasons to reject vaccinations and take the risk of becoming infected with a deadly pathogen. Preventing these diseases has partially contributed to the high life expectancy seen in modern societies. As of today, after food and shelter, vaccines are probably the best way to keep our children safe, well, and free of harm. So please, vaccinate your babies.